It was so scary. It was so scary. I kept on thinking, how will people react to this? Most people insult me. Most people do this to me. Most people do that to me. Like people, I was just thinking about people, people, people. So hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this video, I did this for you. Welcome to a channel where you get to hear amazing stories. Some of the stories are fictions, some are true life stories, and you will also get to hear people tell their stories in this channel. As time goes on, you will get to hear amazing stories in this channel. So please do well to hit the subscribe button now and click the notification bell so you don't miss out on the content I'll be dropping in this channel every weekend. I do this every Friday and Saturday. You will get to hear interesting stories from me in this channel. Okay, in this weekend story, we are going to be hearing an amazing story, a true life story. Okay, so without wasting time, let's get right into it. So I'll be telling you a story, a true life story, my story on how I obeyed an instruction that was so scary, like one of the most scariest instructions I've ever received from God. How I obeyed it, my experience, and what it did to me. Okay, so this happened some years ago when I was still in the university in my 200 level precisely. This is when the instruction came. Okay, so this is something that almost everyone does in school, like it's a usual thing in school. The majority does it, and the instruction was that I have to stop it. It was so scary. It was so scary. I kept on thinking, how will people react to this? Most people insult me. Most people do this to me. Most people do that to me. Like people, I was just thinking about people, people, people. So before I dive into my experience, let me tell you what the instruction is and how I obeyed it first of all. Okay, so the instruction here was to stop the examination malpractice. Ah, people is students, like especially for those who went to the federal universities or state universities. I don't know how private universities run their things. I don't know if it's the usual practice there. But for the state university and federal universities, hey, oh my god. And I was supposed to stop doing this thing, and I was my 200 of that time. So before I even go into how I do this instruction, while I was still in secondary school, the truth is examination malpractice was not just an offense in my school those days. It was an abomination. Like it was a big crime that could lead to suspension or even expulsion from school. I attended a missionary secondary school. It was that serious. Okay, but somehow I got into university and I don't know how this instruction led to me. And I got into examination malpractice. Now, examination malpractice are in different levels. For me, I wasn't bringing in exposed, like I wasn't bringing in all those written paper thing, like you write answers in paper and I think I wasn't doing that. I don't even have that amount of time. I wasn't bringing in my phone to exam. What I actually did those days at my other level was during the exam time, you talk to your neighbor talks to you. In case you forget anything in the exam, you remind your neighbor reminds you, your friend reminds you, you tell your friend. In fact, some people don't think that one is a crime, but the truth is it's still part of examination malpractice because you will not boldly do it in front of your supervisor, right? So it's still part of examination malpractice, no excuse. And that is what I was led to stop doing. It wasn't an easy decision at all. I kept on struggling with this thing. I kept on struggling with instruction. If I stop it, people will not like me. People will hate me. People will insult me. People will do that. People will do this. People will, this fear. So at some point, I decided that I was going to do it. So the first thing I did was talk to my friend, my closest friend. I told her that I wanted to stop doing this thing. And surprisingly, it was not a big thing for her. Like, it wasn't an issue at all. She understood me, and we just drew out the strategy on how to stop doing it, both of us. And what we did was to sit down after us during the exams. Like, we don't sit down close to each other during the exams to, so don't get tempted to do it. It wasn't a problem at all. For some other people, it would have been a problem, but for her, it wasn't. In fact, we are still good friends up to now. So what the problem is the crowd, my classmates, how they would take it. And secondly, me personally, I knew that I would have to read harder, like times 2 or 3 of what I used to read before, because this time around there is no rule to ask anybody anything in the exam hall. So I decided I was going to do it, and I started. The first thing was during the test. That's the thing we write before the main exam. Okay, so during the test, I was seated, and of course our questions were delivered to us. And for some reasons I cannot understand now, up to now, I did not know what to write. Not like I did not read for that test. I read. But somehow it was black during that test. I only remember some things, like it was just very few. So my script was almost blank. And I was seated there looking at the script. I did not know what to do. And a lady, I think a lady or a guy, or I think a lady, she said to me, let me help you, let me help you. Do you want to have carryover in this course? Do you want to have carryover? And the first was like, no, I want to have carryover. But at the same time, I've already decided I was not going to do this thing again. So I refused her helping me. I said that, no. But in my mind, I was like, God! I was like, God, I'm there, God! That kind of thing. But last, I still refused that help, even though I didn't know what to write. I submitted my paper. Anyways, it was test now, so I was still having hope for my exams. But it wasn't easy, sincerely, rejecting that offer when I knew that I really needed it. But because I've decided I wasn't going to do it again and stuff like that, I had to reject the offer. During the exam, one of the papers I remember we were writing, that was skin and temperature. Anyways, I studied human anatomy. It's cool, like human anatomy, learning the structure and all that. So it wasn't such an easy course. No, it wasn't at all. So one of the days we were writing a paper, I think it was skin and temperature. And I was seated close to one beautiful girl like that, tall, not really tall, though, average height, yes, dark, and she's just beautiful. I was seated close to her, and we started this exam. This lady kept on slapping me. Please, that kind of thing, and I already decided that I wasn't going to do this thing again. It was already a decision. So I refused to answer her. Like, I did not respond to what I called me. I did not answer her. And she started insulting me in the exam hall. Like, the insult was just coming. She was very angry, actually. At some point, she started threatening me because time was already going. Time was gradually going. During this exam, you don't have the whole time. You actually time sometimes 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, that kind of thing. And time was already going. So she started threatening me. I would tear your script. That kind of threat. But I still refused to answer her. I kept on writing my thing. So after the exam, she still insulted me. After the whole exam, this thing continued. The next semester, I discovered that there were some set of people who do what I do, and like they don't talk during exams. So I decided to sit in between them to reduce the pressure, and indeed the pressure was reduced. Thank God. But sometimes I get to sit down at the back again. Maybe this person will just throw me at the back or throw me in the middle where those people who will disturb me are, and the disturbance will continue. At some point, the truth is that the insults reduced. They got used to it. During exam time, what will happen is they will say to me, they will say to themselves, don't sit down close to this girl, she no go talk, pray no go answer you for exam, come out. That kind of thing. It was more like a stigma. But however, it was a good stigma, so not all stigmas are bad anyways. And the truth is, even after the exam, we still get to relate with each other. That as time went on, it wasn't no longer a big deal. They got used to it. And last, and that was how I went through that instruction. And I graduated well with a good result. Though not the first class, but the next day to the first class, you know what, that's a second class proper. Yes. But beyond graduating with a good result, I learned a lot going through that instruction. Now, what the instruction did to me. The thing that the instruction did to me, it gave me a mindset that you can actually reach, that I can actually reach and pass. Yes, it made me believe in God's ability in me, that I have what it takes to read for an exam and pass that exam, because some people don't believe they can read and pass. But I came across two guys who have such a belief that they could not read and pass. They have to practice that before the examination of practice. They have to do it to pass. And it's actually bad because it becomes a mindset that we bring into the world system. Yes, when we come out from school, you don't believe you can do something legal and succeed. Beyond just examination and practice, it's a mindset. Because when you now come out of school, go you enter a company, organization, politics, you tend to still continue doing something illegal to succeed because it's already a mindset in you. So one thing is, it actually helped my mind. That instruction helped my mind. So when you're obeying God's instruction, it does a lot for you through the process. It won't be very good to the end result because I actually passed. I came out with a good result. So that's the thing. So never feel so scared, or even if you are scared, still do it once you are sure it's a good thing and it's coming from God. Yes. So this is the end of my story. I know you found it interesting, so please subscribe to this channel, and of course tell me your experience in the comment section. What instruction from God have you ever received and obeyed? What was your experience? And if you're a student, what is it like not practicing examination malpractice in school for you? Say it in the comment section, give this a thumbs up, and see you next week for another amazing story. Bye.